So hi there and welcome back. So today in this video we are going to do something really excited and something very special, as already you guys have seen my template. Okay, you have seen the thumbnail. It's really one of the interesting things what we are going to do, and you got me correct. It's nothing other than a Spotify clone. Let's check how is everything. Yeah, so we are going to develop a Instagram clone. Okay, let's just do one thing. Okay, let's try to now show you exactly what we are going to do. Okay, so Instagram is a social media platform, and when you do any front-end framework, when you try to learn any front-end framework, at that time, the main thing is how do you apply that thing in your real life. Okay, that's the main thing. How can you apply that thing in your real life? So that's my criteria. Now how you can learn that thing, that's my main criteria, and how you can do that thing with Angular. So Angular is going to be the main target for this course. So if I can go to my Google and type Angular, here you can see that, let's yeah, here you can see this is Angular, and Angular is nothing but a JavaScript framework, front-end framework, and this framework helps us to develop beautiful front end. Okay, this helps us to develop beautiful front ends. So more on this we will be discussing one by one. How does it help us and what all things are there? Okay, another thing with this Angular framework with TypeScript, we are also going to make with primeng. So this is our primeng Angular UI component library, which we are going to do. Okay, here you can see that if we go to the components, we have all the components what we require to develop the Instagram clone. So before doing anything right away, what we are going to do, we are just going to install Angular and also learn how we can go with this UI framework. For this, you should know how JavaScript works, how TypeScript, or also, and also, if you don't know anything, you can totally enjoy my video. Okay, you can totally enjoy this video because we are going to build something really interesting. So if we can go to the Instagram, we'll start with this page and we'll see how we can get this exact UI to our web page. So let's start. I'm very excited and thrilled for this one. So let's open up our CMD. Okay, let's open up our CMD like this. And let me just zoom in a bit. And in the CMD, let's go one level up. And here we can create one folder with mkdir, and I can make this create finders project like this. I can develop this like this. Now if I can do ls, sorry, if I can now go to cd create finders dash project. Now here I can, first of all, you need to check if you are having the node installed. So here probably I have Node installed on my system, but how will you install this? Let me show you. You can go to Node.js like this, and here you can click on this Node.js. In the Node.js, just click on this, the LTS version latest. Click on this. It is a simple installation. You know everyone, just next, and you will get this thing installed on your system. Once you have installed Node.js to your system, you can go to the CMD and type node, and you should get something like this, the node environment. Okay. So this thing should be available for you so that you can learn, you can easily see how you can use this Node.js environment. And once you are done with this thing, you can go to Angular, to the docs, getting started, set up, and with this, you can copy this command. Here on this copy command, I will click on this. I will go to my CMD, will click on npm install this, hit enter, and this will now install Angular command line interface to my entire operating system globally so that I can access Angular commands from anywhere in my operating system. So once this is done, we are good to go. Now this says new major version npm is available, and I will also update my npm. Now what is npm? npm is nothing but a package manager. Package means, let's say some other developer have created so many functionalities, okay, and have in one programming language and have grouped them together and uploaded on some server. Now you need that functionality. So what you do, you will download that code to your project. And this downloading and uploading this entire thing is a management. And so this npm helps you to manage all those packages, update those packages, and everything else. Okay. Now this is done. Okay. We have installed, we have done this npm thing. We have also installed everything. Now what to do? Now what should we do? The next would be that your Node.js is ready, your npm is ready. That means the node package manager. You have installed the Angular command line tool. Okay. And how did we do that? Why? By this command. Okay. Now we are going to create a new app. And in order to create a new app, what we will do ng. Ng stands for Angular. Ng new stands for new project. Just you need to type like that. And our project name will be Instagram dash clone. Let's hit enter. And now we get something interesting. Let me just maximize the screen a bit. Now here you can see, would you like to share anonymous usage data about this project with Angular team at Google under Google's privacy policy? This is this. Do you want to share this? For now, I will do it. No. Would you like to add Angular routing? For now, you will do yes. Which style sheets do you want? For now, we'll keep it simple. We'll go with CSS. Now this will create the entire project, and we'll soon see where we can see the entire project build up. So onto your My Files, if you can go to the My Files section, you can go to this PC, you can go to the OS, you can go to the Create Finders. Here, let me just zoom in a bit. Here you can see we have Instagram clone and we are getting this file generated. Let this thing be done. Now, what another thing I will recommend you is you can go on and download VS Code. Now, VS Code is free to use and you can just download it for your platform, for Windows or for Mac OS or for Linux. And this is a code editor where we are going to write this code. So it's really simple to install. We install this thing and now we can go on for VS Code, hit enter, and this will then fire up the VS Code to your systems. So this is my VS Code in action. Can go to the file, open folder. Let's go to our this PC, create finder projects, Instagram clone, and select this folder. Hit on I trust the author. Now we are on the right track. Now this says, do you want to install the recommended Angular language service extension? I will click on install and this will help me to install everything. Now, whenever I'm trying to develop these kind of cloning projects, what I feel is I make use of certain different what I say different extensions. Let me show you how you can also do that in your code. So here I can go to TypeScript. I can write just TypeScript, and then in the TypeScript I will install this one. Okay. After the TypeScript is done, I can go on and go on for Angular again. And in the Angular, I'm also going to do the snippets. Okay, the snippets are done. Then I'm going to do Angular Essentials for Angular 16. I'm also going to install this one. Then I'm going to install Prettier, and this Prettier will also help me to just format my code. So this thing is also there, which I'm going to do. Okay, Prettier is there. Then once Prettier is there, I'm also going to install the ESLint version. Okay, so ESLint is also ready. The material icons also I have done this, so I'm going to set this as my icon theme, and I think now we are good to go. Okay, if I need anything else, will do. Yeah, if I would need anything, I can do. Okay, there is no problem. But for now, I guess this is fine. Now I can go to the Peacock. Some Instagram color would be good. Okay, for now we'll go with this one. No issues. Now, next thing. Now in this folder, I can see I'm having this package.json file where so many of the dependencies and everything is installed. Let me just shift towards some darker version. So this is fine. Yeah. Now we have Angular version 16, which is the latest Angular. Okay, and we have the TypeScript version 5, which is the latest, and everything is there. Now, another thing what we talked in the starting of this video was we were going to install the Angular primeng theme, where we are going to utilize this theme for making the UI. Now you can go to the getting start session, the installation part, and we are going to run this command. So in order to run this command, simply what you can do is you can go to this terminal section, and in the terminal section we can say npm install primeng, and this will then install primeng. Let me see. Npm install primeng dash dash f, and I think this will also install primeng to my system, and now I'm having the primeng, but I don't want the primeng LTS version, so I'm just gonna remove this thing. So npm uninstall primeng. I want the latest version, so I will be sticking with that, and I will be going for the latest one. So it will be npm install primeng at the rate latest to grab the latest primeng, whatever is available on the servers. Latest dash dash f with force. Again, this one is Okay. So prime ng, let me just check why is this. Okay, we are having this, and now let's again give it a try. Oh, this is again and again giving me this version only. Let's see which version is there. It's 16.5.1. So I will be installing that only. So the version is 16.5.1 dash dash F. So now this will install the latest version, I guess. And now we have the latest version, the primeng 16.5.1. Oh, perfect. Now, in order to start this project, what I will do is the command is ng npm run start or ng start. Here you get the command of start. So I can do npm run start, hit enter, and now this entire Angular project will start. You can see it's say generating browser bundle, and if you wanna see, I can also go for the dark mode if you want. Okay, it's the theme, and based on this, we can also go for dark plus theme or dark, anything which you like. We can go with this. And now our project is available on 4200. This is our project. Now, how to edit this file? If we can go to our package.json file, to the source file, to the app file, in the app.html, just remove everything, hit save, and now everything is saved. Now we are going to create our clone from here. So now the target what we have is currently this in mind. Okay, so we have this start. Now, how we are going to achieve this thing? So if we see this thing, okay, we have one part where we are dealing with this part, okay, this one. The other part is this Instagram box, and the other is this get the app, and we have the section, the header section. So what I feel is what we can do in this part is we want to generate some components. So in the app part, I'm going to create one folder which says components. Okay, and in the components now I'm going to do cd. I'm going to cd from this to source slash components. Instagram clone is there, and we can cd to src. Then we can cd to app dash components. Let's components. Let's hit enter. Let's clear everything. And now we are in our component section. Now to clone the Instagram, here we have this section. So do entire this, we are going to say it as a login authentication. So we can say in the components that we want a authentication form. Okay. So here we have this file. Okay, we have this login card container, we have this app, and we have this thing. So we can say login form. So here I can do ng stands for Angular, G stands for generate, C stands for component, or I can say GENERATE, generate, component, and I want to generate a component. The name is Instagram IG dash, or I can say login dash form. Uh, okay, if you get this anything like this, we can just go and copy this code. Okay, we can copy this code. Usually you get this thing. We can do this thing. Okay, there is nothing so serious about this. Just go on this Stack Overflow. I will also mention this thing, or you have seen in this video. You can just go on this, and now you can copy this command. You can then let me just show you over here. You just copy this command, open it this, go to the PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, hit enter, and just set this thing, do A, and everything is now done. Now you can again try to set this thing like this, and this will now generate a brand new component under your component section, which is login form. Okay. Now with this, we also wanna make a module, and the module will be authentication module. So how we can do that? We go one level up, and we can do ng generate generate tool, and the module will be authentication. Authentication. So if we can see now, we are going to get a module which says authentication. Cool and perfect. And in the authentication, now we wanna go to CD authentication. Now with authentication, and we wanna do a component which says login. You see in the authentication, you get a component which is login. Now, what the exact idea behind this thing is that our Instagram is going to have a login page. This one, now this login page will have a component which is a login form component. This one, okay, the entire one. We also have this get the app component where we can generate it like this. CD, let's go here, CD to components, and we can do nggc and nggc login form, we can say footer. So this is our login form footer component. So you see over here, we grab the login form, we have the login form component footer, and we have this login form this image. So we can say login, again, we can go over here and say login form banner. So we also get this login form banner. Now just clear this everything. For now, we are good to go. And in the components, we are now going to create an index.ts file because I want to create a modular structure. Okay. I want to create a modular structure. That means each of my components will be mentioned in this index file, and then these components will be having the entire set of components. So inside the components, we are having the our reusable components, by which we can reusable those components everywhere in our entire app. Now, generally, these components are mostly going to be used within here, but then also reusability is the main criteria over here. So we can go to our login form component.ts, and here we'll do export default login form component. And then this file will also have its own index.ts file where we are going to do export default as login form component from, and we know where it is coming from, login form dot component file. The same goes with this file. We can do index.ts file, and we can say export. Okay, we can say export default as, and you know what class you have. You go over here, you have the login banner class, and now you can go to your index file. Just click on this, and from this, it's the login form banner file. Okay, it's the login form banner file. Now is our login form footer, and for this we are going to follow the same footprints. Going for this component file default to the login form component, and here we'll do export default as login form component from login form component. Now once everything is ready, you can save everything. Now once everything is saved, just go to your app, what app you have created over here. Let me just show you. Let me just grab this file, close this browser, and bring it just next to this. Now you have these all things, right? You have so many things. Good. Why? Because still your app module have these files, right? So it's better you just remove these files, and here I will show you how you want to do it. Just wait and watch. And now you can, for the index file which is inside this component file, now these are responsible for exporting each and every folder. Okay, so here this is a hierarchical structure. Hierarchical structure, how you play with import and export in front-end projects as well as in backend, I guess. The main thing is in the interviews, these are also kept on priority, like how you structure your folders. So it's like export everything from login form banner, and export everything from login form footer. Okay, so this should be the structure where then each of the file have their own specific file, and if you click on that file, you will go to that class. Okay, and now this components folder should be utilized over here. So you see we have everything coming from our dot components. So you see this structure. This structure is so nice and clean, very clear structure where you see. Let's try to. Yeah. So from dot components, we are getting all the components. So in the component, you get all the folders, and in the specific folder, we are having all of these imports. Okay. So our components are done and ready. Now we want to display one of the components so that you get a clear idea. For that, first of all, we need to keep one routing. So for routing, what we are going to do is we are going to our Angular module over here, and in this routes array over here, what the routes array we have here, we are going to specify some path, and the path is slash, and here we want to specify which component do we want to show over here. So that is going to be our login component, but it's not that much straightforward. Actually, what we are going to do is we are going to load entire component over here. We are going to load entire component. So here we have so many things what all we can do, right? We have so many things what all we can do in here, but in actual we are going to do something known as lazy loading. Now, what is this lazy loading? Now, lazy loading is nothing but where whenever that module is required, okay, whenever that module is required, only at that moment that module will be loaded to your browser, and then you can access all the components which resides inside that thing. So it's as simple as that. Okay. So how you can also load that component? Let me just try to show you. It's quite simple, nothing to worry about. You can say load children's. And here it will be a arrow function where we try to import something, and that import is going to happen from authentication module, and dot then we are going to receive that module, and we are going to do module dot authentication module. So like this, we have to this path, to the blank path, we have loaded this authentication module. And now authentication module has this login file, which is again going to have its own index.ts, where our login component is going to be a default import. And this is going to be something like this: export default as login component. And this login component is coming from login component, like that. Now, if we go to the login component, it's a basic TypeScript class. We are going to see that in detail, but actually, for now, I want. Uh, Let me just get rid of this component for now. And here you can do a quick fix to just get this thing fixed. And this is coming from dash login. Now, another thing what we want to do is this authentication is going to have its own routing file. So for that, we can do authentication dash routing dot module dot tsy. So this is our routing module for that thing. And to speed this process, I'm just going to grab this component, place it over here, just change the name of this routing file to authentication routing module. And we don't need to load any children's. In fact, we are just going to load our component, and the component is login component. You get this point? And the loading component is login component. Now simply we wanna grab this authentication and we wanna import to our module like this. Now if we can go and we go to our login.html, we just wanna go to our app.html and place the router outlet. Now exactly what is router outlet? Router outlet, this tag basically helps you to dynamically change the routing and show on your page. So if we can go to our index file, we can go to console. It says the router was provided more than once. This can happen if for root is used. Okay, right? My bad. Should be for child. And now let me just increase. Here you can see login works. So our page is connected. Okay, our page is connected and there is nothing wrong with our command prompt as well. Everything is with the console also, everything is good. Now we are having this primeng, right? So how we are going to implement this over here? So that's another thing what we are going to study here. Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to just save this photo and we'll go to a desktop, not desktop, this PC operating system finders, clone, SRC, assets, and here I'm going to do is login banner.png. Let's go to our VS Code, okay, to check if this thing was saved. Source assets. I think I kept that file over here. Let's see if the file still exists. Okay. I think this file is taking some time to get saved. Let's make this saved. Till now, we can also grab this Instagram logo, save this file, and we can okay. Let's do one thing. Let's go on and say Instagram logo. Let's go on onto the web logo, and here we have this brand new logo. Let's save the image. Go to your folder in the assets. Let's say logo Instagram like this. Now this logo is available. You can go to your VS Code, the assets, and the logo Instagram is now available. You can see over here we have this Instagram logo available, and with the Instagram we also need Instagram login banner. So what kind of photo we can take for now? Let's take this thing because that's a GIF. Okay, that's a GIF. We can just save this file and say that it's a login banner.png. Let's see if that thing works. Login banner PNG is also available with us. This is a login banner, and this is. Please feel free to add your own. Okay, we can find more good deals over here, which you can use with a transparent thing. Many things are available. Even we would have used this one. So let's use this one for now. That's the login. And we are now good to go with our design. Okay. Now, once these all things are done, we need to group them together. So how we are going to do is we are going to our login here, and before we can directly jump on developing something, I want to show you one more thing. If you can go to your Angular JSON file, here you will find one key which is prefix. Now you see in your all the components TS file, you see this prefix app dash. Now what I can do is I can change it to IG, stands for Instagram, and now I'm allowed to change the prefix with IG. So I should say it IG, and because it makes sense, everything is related to Instagram. So I'm going to rename this to IG. IG stands for Instagram, right? Now everything is good. Now let's start with this form thing. So you see here I'm having this form. So I'm gonna grab this IG component like this. I try this thing, and now I'm just gonna rush to my HTML over here, and I'm gonna use this IG form like this. Now in order to use this IG form, you can go to your login file here, and you can raise a flag which is standalone to true. Now, standalone components were available to Angular with Angular 14, and this allow you to make a component standalone. That means this component is not going to depend on any of the module in order to grab other components. Instead, this component can be a standalone and grab any of the component module which it requires. So that's what I am going to do is it's login form component, right? Now to my app module, I don't need to get this thing over here. So I'm gonna remove this file from my declarations because in Angular 16, your component can only be, if it's a standalone, you don't need to write it in your declarations. Otherwise, that's not required after all. You don't need that component in declarations. Okay. It can be a straightforward thing. No need for and this special login form as well. No need. We don't need them here after all, because these are going to be standalone components. So actually we don't need those things. Now where is it? Do we have here somewhere else? Let's save everything. I think this should get resolved. Okay, it says the component of inform is imports but is not standalone, because this component is not standalone. So we can say standalone to true, and now our problem is fixed. So you can see login form works. Now you see in the Instagram, we have this card. Okay, please feel free to leave your comments. Okay, I will read it accordingly. So you see this card, we need this card. Okay, this card is required. Now in order to get this card, we have this primeng. Go to the components. In the components section, you can grab this card. Card is here. And in order to use the card, you need to import this file. Let's import this thing. And in the login form, I can just utilize this card module. Here, let's go to the import section like this. And in the imports, I can then write the name of card module. Now, once card module is there, let me just copy this and apply it here. And if you can see, okay, one more thing, what I need to do is, if you can go to your get started installation, you need to copy these 2 lines of code into your angular.json file. So angular.json file, okay, and then in your angular.json file, style section, under the builder options here in the styles, set this as your file. Now, once this is settled, you can go to your terminal, close your server, run it again, and now you will see a brand new card onto your screens. Just wait and watch. You see this card? Let me just zoom in a bit, and this is a brand new card. Perfect. Now we are having a card. So this is the reality and the fun of using framework. That's why I love working with Angular. So now we can style this card according to what design we need, right? So let's try to style this. In the header section, you see this Instagram. And also, if you can see to this card, let's go to the components, back to the component section, card section. Here, we somewhat need some card like this, right? So let's try to copy this thing like this. We don't need the buttons right now. Let's remove the buttons. Style is fine. Let's try to see. And we have this card somewhat like this. Okay. Now, here in our Instagram, here we have this logo. So instead of this photo, we are going to have a logo. And the logo you can have here is assets slash, and in the assets we have this logo Instagram. Okay, logo Instagram.png. Save this file, we get this logo. Okay, and the card is Instagram logo. This is our alternate thing. Save this thing, down that down, and this needs to be just designed properly. So we can go to the same files, CSS. Let's name this thing as class, and this is logo Instagram. Come to this file, to the CSS file. We need to do it as logo Instagram. We can do it as a width, which is, let's say, 8 em. Let's save this thing. Okay, let's give it 20 em, 20. Let's give it 18. I think 14 will be sufficient. 12 maybe. Yeah, this looks me fine now. Now, in your card, okay, in this card, you see this is the header section, but we don't need any headers. So that's why I'm just gonna remove my header section. If you see in the subheading, we don't have anything in subheading as well. So gonna remove the subheading as well. Now this is clear. Now this is a P card. Here we have this content. Okay. Here we are going to lay down our form, and this is the footer of this card where we have these two things, login with Facebook and all those things. Now what we are going to do is to this ng template, okay, to this P card, first of all, I am gonna grab this P card and seriously, it should be a style class and it should say login form card like this. Let's grab this class, go to the CSS file, just like this with a dot. And now you can say it as a display of flex. Flex direction is column. Justify content is center. Now align items are also center. Save everything. Okay. And because that's a style class, I think that should pretty much work with our styles.css file here. Yeah, now it works. So this is a login form card. Okay. So everything is now taking shape. Now to this card, to the same card, I want the borders to be none. You see now, okay, it's still okay. And with this, now we wanna also do one more thing. If you see, this is a login form. Now login form is presented to the login page. If you can see here to the login page. Now if you see we have this banner with a button and all of these things. So if we try to shape everything now, just trying to place everything on one page. So how they will look, if you can go to the banner, it's the banner. Here I go to img src. This is assets slash, and if you can go to the assets folder, it's login dash banner. So it's login dash banner not pg, the dash, save this file. Okay, and in order to view this file, you will take this file, go to your login folder, and just over here we can place this file, but don't forget that the login banner first of all should be a standalone component, a standalone true like this, and then it should be imported to this component. So it's login from banner component. Now you see we get this image as well. Now it's just the styling. What we have to do is right now I'm gonna grab this in a div like this, and I'm gonna name it as class, and I'm gonna give it as login container like center like this. So login container flex, or it should be pretty much login flex container, flex underscore container. Save this file. to the CSS like this. It will be display of type flex. Our flex direction is by default to row. Our justify contents are going to the center. Our ynet towards center. Our height is going to be 100 dvh. Let's save everything, and we get everything in center. You see this thing? We are going far with the design. We are coming closer. Now you see this thing, this uh, bottom header section, footer section. This also we can do here. If I can say this is login footer works. Let's also try to grab this component. Let's say that this is standalone to true. Okay, this is standalone true, and with this you can then grab this component, standalone login form component, go over here, and I can then place this here, login form, sorry, go to this, place it, update your source folder imports, and here you can then do IG footer, and if you see, you get your footer here. Just shoot this thing. This is your footer. Now here, one more thing what I can do is, see, if you just remove the site, okay, what will happen? You get something like this, and you can then have some designs like this. So your footer is here. Now we know that this should be in center, right? This should be in center, this one, and your card and everything is here. So we'll implement this, but first of all we need to implement these things. So that's why it's height 100% or 100, whatever you would like to keep it. It's up to you, but I am gonna keep it something like this. Okay, we can also keep it in center, and the trick is, what I have feel is that this container should now have a height. If you want to place this in center, this should have a height. Suppose I'm giving this container a height of just 500 pixels. Then you see, and also in flex container, yeah. Also, one more thing, what I want to show you is, now this height to this component over here, this one, if I create a border 1 pixels solid red, you see this is the container, right? If you just go on and move the height, nothing changes. But if you do it something where it's 1200, this will try to increase. If you do it 20 em, then it will surely decrease. So the main idea here is, if your entire form, let's say your entire login form height can get increased, and let me also show you something like this, border 1 pixels solid black. Okay, you see, body, and here let me just design something to show you. Now you see your body is actually here. The body should be high 100%, 100 view height. So 100 VH, you see, this is the reality of this file now. Okay, this is the reality of this file. And now whatever you try to do with this component. Let me also try to increase the body width to 5. So this black border is our body over here, but this flex container is our red bordered line. Let me just increase the border for this as well. So the red one is our login container. Okay, but this black is our body. So that is what I was trying to show you at this. So let's just try to remove this thing. Okay, and we come up here, height 100 ph, and now we are again in center. Now when you want to use the input fields like this, phone and password, it's simpler, nothing to get worried. You can just go to your component list and grab input text, copy this module. We can go to our login file. For now, we are going to create this file as a separate one, okay, a separate component. But right now, just to show you, you can use primeng's import text module like this, okay. And with this text module, you can just try to create a normal input field. So let's grab the code and paste it here. Remove this thing currently. Let's save everything. Let's go over here and you get some input fields as well. You see this thing? Okay, good. Let's try to place two fields next to each other. Great. Let's add the placeholder. Let's see what the Instagram user. Phone number, phone number, comma username, comma email. So phone number, comma username, comma email. That's what they are trying to feed in. Phone number or it's or email. We'll fix the size. Wait for it. And the next is password. So the placeholder for this is password. Let's save this thing. And here you see these two things. Now here you can also use size and set this thing to small like this. So all of the fields will act as small, and here or you can just move these directive brackets just because they are strings, so you can use them directly. Save this. Okay, and also to these inputs we can give a class of login form control. Okay, we can grab this thing, font size 12 pixels, save. Okay, so whatever you write, it will be like that. Control input size small, placeholders, everything is good. And then you see we were writing on these classes as well. You can also use this class. These are more over the same. Let me just show you. The input text sm like this. Save this file. Now the inputs are much smaller. We can also increase their okay, let me just check. Okay, they are somewhat near to 18 pixels. Not 18 exactly. 15 is fine, I guess. Uh, 15, I guess 13 is fine. Okay, yeah. And according to the styling, okay, they have their borders shrink to 0. So we can say border radius 0 pixels. Now we get the sharp designs. Okay, a sharper look is now available. Let me just zoom the card so that you can view the card properly. Now these are sharp, and we'll design this thing with flex, where instead of keeping it as P, I like it to keep it as div as a container. Let's say a class data login form control container. This is a login form control container. So we can just put it as a display of flex. Our flex direction is going to be a column. Justify content is center. Our align item is center. And the gap for this, I'm going to give it 2em. Save this file, and the gap is also now available. You see, and if you guys see this file, the gap is moreover like 0.4 em, I guess. Yeah. Now we need the width. Width will be 100% of original now. Okay. And if you wanna do it more, okay, set the width to your form control as well. And or I wanna set it to, let's say, 250 pixels. 250 pixels are more than enough. Okay, 250 pixels more than enough. If I can just shrink the size, you see on 100%, these looks good to me. Now the size, now the spacing towards the top is on a good size. Okay, this P card body. You see this thing? So this card is grabbing a lot of space. Now, in terms of spacing, we will be working in the next video, but for now, we should at least have an initial design. Now we need this button. So in order to grab this button, we can go to the buttons file. Okay. And here we can now grab the button for this. So that's the button module. Let's grab this button as well. Okay, we grab this button, and in order to use this button, we go over here, go to this, yes, go to the HTML file, and here we are now gonna place this button as well. So you see this button, but the size is so big that we are gonna reduce the size by a bit, and in order to reduce the size, we are having a class, inbuilt class, which is p button sm, or it's, I think it's a size prop. Yeah, size small. So size small button, and the button should also have, we have this p button here. Instead of p button, I think we should name this button as class login form control button. Now this button can also have a width 300 pixels, as we see, this is also fine. But see, that totally depends how you want to shape your button. Okay, I don't recommend just trying to change your button like this. But instead, if you can check this button, right, you can just click on this button. Okay, this is a button. If you try to increase the width to 100%, nothing happens, because this button class is so strict that this will take how you want to treat it. Okay, so let's say 100. 100% doesn't do anything. If you wanna just do it as per your login, like this is there, you can just design this button accordingly. So instead, this is your button. You know that you have designed your fields by 250 pixels like this. So you can just grab this button, this code, okay, and try to shift this in the range of width 250 pixels. But then this shifts this button over here. So what I want to do is I want to just focus on this button. And now, okay, I think in the new primeng they have just removed how you can do it something like this. And whenever you are stuck with such things, okay, whenever you are stuck with such kind of scenarios, see here it says P button the element, and okay, so whenever you are stuck with such scenarios, what you can do is primeng P button with 100%. How you can do that thing? So you can use something like this, like they are setting the font size. In the similar fashion, we can do width to 50 pixels. Let's say this thing, and we get this width as well. One more thing, what I will do is justify self, or I can do it as margin top 1 em, or I say 0.5 em because it's already taking some space. Okay, so 1.5 em, and it says login. So we can also say login, and it's with space. So I also give it a same space of login. We'll change the button look as well, but for now, let's keep it the way. Now we have this divider that is also available. Okay, so you can go over here, grab this divider view like this, grab this component, go to your login form like this, P divider is here, and now we can grab the same look and feel what that requires. So in the center, so we have this divider with the center badge. Okay, so here after this form, I can give it a center one. Let's just format this code a bit. Instead of batch, this says or like this. Yeah, again, we will style it, no problem. We can get small or, and then you have this login with Facebook. Now, styling these things will do. Okay, it's already 1 hour for this video, so that's a lot for today, but surely we'll do it. And one thing what I want to do is login form continue, login form continue. This one I'm gonna do it as margin top 0 pixels, padding top 0 pixels. Okay, and towards the header where we have this header, this one, if you don't put it in the header, it will be really fine. Okay, there's no need of just taking lots of stress while designing some UI. It should be a free one. It should be responsive. It should be free. It should look good. Okay, but in the last, you can design it according to what way you feel it. It could be a header. Okay, can totally get rid of this thing as well. Now you see, to all the elements, you can also style it here as well. So I'm also displaying you all the possibilities what you can do. Okay, and I can do it flex direction, this column. Okay, justify content, this center, align items, this center. You can also write styles like this. So there are so many possibilities, what all you can do. Okay, so let's log in Instagram. You're given the width. Yeah, but okay, so there are so many ways what I have shown you. You can go with the style if you require, if you like the style, what is there currently. You can also go with that, or you can also choose whatever you like. So till now we have done so far this one. We'll complete this leftover part in the next video, and I will also make the Git repository for this code where you can grab this code. In the next part, we'll do a login and get to the dashboard, and we'll try to design the dashboard as well. We'll also fine tune this UI a more, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Not goodbye, it should be a bye. So take care, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.